We are not recording. Okay, so we're going back to Amos. And the first step is to add your data. So just reminder, file, data files, find your file. I put anything I'm working on the desktop just because it's so much easier to find. And then you can go here to variables listed in the data set. You can also go to view, and it has the same picture over here, variables in the data set. This is different than CFA where we drew our model and then added data. And this is a shortcut because now I can just take depression is my dependent variable, and we're going to predict stress and anxiety. That's depression history. I don't want that one. From depression total. I don't want depression history. Okay, so I've just grabbed my 3 things. I need to actually draw the model. So I'm going to go over to my arrow. I want stress predicting depression, and I want anxiety predicting depression. And then I'm going to add a covariate between my independent variables. And I'm going to add my error term. So I could draw a little circle thing, but it's so much easier to just add your error with this little guy. And he is right there. To make it prettier, just take the wand and kind of go over things. Sometimes it takes a couple of times. And of course, I need to either name my error term. So I can just double click it and say E1, since it's only one, that's the fastest way to do it. If you have a lot of things, again, you can go to plugins and name unobserved variables. Save the model. As something. And then calculate estimates. Nope. See, if I do that, it will remind me that I have to do something else. I need to go back up to view analysis properties. So we're going to click the same things. Estimate means and intercepts. We're going to go to output, standardized estimates. I talked about how you can click another button and get the indirect things if you really wanted to get indirect pathways. In this one, there are no indirect pathways. We have modeled everything. Everything is connected to everything because it's such a simple model. So standardized estimates, estimation, still maximum likelihood, estimate means and intercepts, save, calculate estimates, perfect. When I go to viewing text, oh, by the way, if you wanted to take a picture of this, this has all of the standardized estimates in it. So you have the picture without it. If you want to go back to the original picture, you just click up here and you go back and forth between this red thing and kind of the green one. So there's a hint depending on how complicated your model is and how pretty it is if you want the things. So going to notes for the model. You will see immediately that chi-square didn't work. There's 0 degrees of freedom. So we are just identified. When we look up here, we see that there's 0 degrees of freedom because we have the same number of observed information in our matrix as we are trying to estimate in our matrix. Totally fine. Everything still runs. We still get all of our information, but we do not get model fit because it's a saturated model. It's a perfect model fit for CFI. If we go down to RMSEA, if it even does anything, sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So here we say we have a saturated model and we don't report fit statistics. That's another hint with path analysis to get around a bad model fit is to make your model saturated. Okay, so then we're going to go to estimates. When we scroll through estimates, we're going to be reading the same thing. So regression weights, there's our beta weights. We can see that both of them are significantly predicting depression. Again, we go down here to our standardized estimates. Those are our beta weights. They're right here. Same concept, really close. If we go to, what else do I care about here? Covariances. Right here, we can see that stress and anxiety are related. So it was good to do that. And we can actually see that the correlation between those two is a 0.9. I will warn you as you play with this data set that stress, anxiety, and depression before COVID were related to each other at like a 0.5 to a 0.6. So they were moderate relationships. This was at the start of the pandemic in like April. And we cannot differentiate conceptually between stress, anxiety, and depression. They are all related at above a 0.9. And yes, that does mess with our model. So that's all it takes to run path analysis in Amos. You can add variables. So you can just grab the fire truck, which is the moving truck, move things back and forth, add a variable in between them, draw new lines, and play around.